Okay, great. Thank you. All right. Let me just restart again. So Anders, he is an author, teacher, and founder of Conscious Breathing. After living most of his life with a hurricane of thoughts, bouncing back and forth, Anders was fortunate enough to come across tools that have helped him relax and found his inner calm. The most powerful of these tools have undoubtedly been to improve his breathing habits, which made Anders decide to become the world's most prominent expert in breathing. This is more than 10 years ago. And since then, he has helped tens of thousands of people to better health and improve quality of life. In 2018, Anders helped facilitate and participate in a groundbreaking 3-week breathing study at Stanford, USA. Once he ran a half marathon with duct tape over his mouth just to show the power of nasal breathing. Anders has trained more than 1,000 breathing instructors. Without further ado, I would love to introduce you, Anders. Anders, please share your story. I found your story absolutely fascinating. And by the way, I just realized my light is not shone. Let me just switch my light on.
So, can you see my screen?
Yes, please start.
You can see my screen, yeah?
Yes, I can see your screen.
Okay, perfect. So, yeah, thank you for the introduction, Silky, and thank you for having me on this wonderful event. So I firmly believe that in our breath lies the power to change our lives. See if you agree with me after this presentation. But let's start with an exercise, eye focus. And it's important that you follow my instructions carefully and do exactly as I say, okay? Please try not to make a mistake. Your head should be still during the whole exercise. Sit up straight so that you become more alert and get ready to perform. Are you ready? 3, 2, 1, go. Look up, look down, look to the right, look to the left, look up, look down, head should be still. Look up, look down, look to the right, look to the left, look up, look to the left, look to the right, look up. And how are you breathing now? Anyone that changed your breathing? Stop breathing, tense up? Most people do.
Yeah, stop.
Yeah, this is how easy it is. Because the thing is that when we're engaged in something, if we concentrate, if we are worried, if we have a slumped posture, well, our breath will follow. So our breath is a direct reflection of our thoughts, our emotions, and our physical body. Whatever goes on will be reflected in our breath. Without breath, there is no life. We know that. No thoughts, no emotions, no digestion, no muscle movement, no nothing. So we live from one breath to the next, we can say. And one way of looking at it is that our thoughts, emotions, and physical body, they are all surfing on the breath.
We have the next speaker, and I'm so excited to introduce her. The next speaker is Sonia Samtani. Sonia Samtani is the founder of All About You, a leading mental wellness center in Hong Kong, offering therapy, training, workshops, and personalized healing products. Sonia is a licensed clinical hypnotherapist and hypnotherapy instructor, NLP trainer, life coach, corporate trainer, family constellation facilitator, regression therapist, and public speaking coach. As a sought after mental health expert and public speaker, Sonia has been leading workshops since 2005 and designed several courses to facilitate deep healing and conscious living. Sonia has been featured twice on TEDx and have been featured on Vogue, Tatler, Cosmopolitan, Time Out, Jessica, and Marie Claire. At the end of 2020, Sonia launched her book called 52 Thoughts for Conscious Living, which is available on Amazon. Sonia's vision is to empower individuals with simple yet powerful tools to navigate through the ups and downs of life with acceptance so that they can tune into the magnificence of who they are. Without further ado, please give a number 9 in the chat box if you're excited as me to welcome Sonia to the panel. Hi, Sonia. How's it going?
Hi, Silky. It is such a pleasure to be here, and thank you for that gracious introduction.
It's absolutely my pleasure. I just remember when I first connected with you, we were just so flowing together in terms of our vision and mission, and everything just simply gelled. I love what you do. I love what your mission is in the world. Do you just want to quickly tell the audience your history, your background? How did you get to where you are and then created all of this?
Sure, I'd be happy to. So I live in Hong Kong. As you can see, I'm not Chinese. There's a picture of Hong Kong like right behind me here. I grew up here and it was different. I think that's the first message that I got, because I'm an Indian girl. And at that time, this is a British colony and there's Chinese people all around. So I'm different. And I made that mean at that point that I'm different in not a great way. I am different in a way that makes me less than, that makes me inferior. And I dealt with it at the time by withdrawing. And so that was my coping mechanism. I became a little bit shy. And soon after that, I had something happen in my family where one of my family members had a big ailment and was in hospital for 5 years. And that caused a lot of stress. And once again, my interpretation is that there's something wrong, not with me, with my family. So I withdrew even more. And I'm one of those people that, I don't have a tsunami where I broke my leg or this radical awakening. It's the first time that I was asked to speak on TEDx. They were like, you've not broken your leg in a tsunami, you've not got a calamity. I'm like, no, but my story of my radical change, it actually happened in McDonald's. So I was in school and I went to McDonald's, and I remember just feeling so nervous there because everybody was standing in line and excited to order. And I was sitting there going, oh my God, how am I going to order my meal? What are people going to think? Can I do this properly? Can I say that I want a burger and fries? And that caused me so much stress that when it was my turn to speak, I clamped up and I couldn't even order. And there was a person behind me that wanted to say that this is what she wants. And then I decided that something needs to change. So my shift actually came in McDonald's. I decided to shift something. With the limited awareness that I had at the time, I thought shifting something means losing weight and getting thin eyebrows. So that's exactly what I did. I lost a ton of weight. I thinned my eyebrows and I look different. And that did make a difference because people started responding to me in a different manner. People started looking at me slightly different, and it felt good for a while. It gave me this temporary high. And then when people's responses were not so favorable, I went back to my low. And so I was going into the highs and lows, and I figured out in my late teens that there's something else, something deeper. And then I started to do a lot of soul searching. I asked those questions, and I started looking at belief systems, because belief is what governs behavior. Belief is what governs our lives. And right from reading books to attending seminars to working on the team of Tony Robbins, I started first with coaching. And for me, that was very powerful in adapting different strategies. And finally, I got introduced to therapy, which took me back in time to understand the root of my issue. That why am I like this? Where did my beliefs come from? As I shared earlier, it came from the fact that I interpreted I'm less than. Now that I know that, I can reinterpret those beliefs. And the more I did that, the more I felt different, until I got invited to then be a speaker on this, to be a trainer on the same subject. And now I have a center in Hong Kong that trains people to become therapists and instructors of the same. So that's my story in a little bit of a nutshell.